Welcome to our executive interview series at FedTalks, presented by FedScoop. I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and we're here with Kirsten Dalboe, Chief Data Officer at the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. Kirsten, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I'd like to start by asking, what role do things like workforce development, innovation, and cultural management play in actually enabling agencies to serve their missions in the digital age?
Yeah, and I really love this question because if you think about it, most of our government mechanisms, processes, systems were all designed pre-digital age. And so, you think about, as someone in the data world, I'm familiar with something like the Paperwork Reduction Act, which is a law that governs how we can collect data from the citizens. And yet it was written in 1980 when we called data paperwork. So even things as simple as what we call the law that governs how we can collect data from the public is not written considering digital services. So things like workforce development and innovation are hugely important because we really need to make sure that we are making sure that our workforce understands their role as we move from a paper-based world into a digital world, and that they are empowered to make the change necessary, that they understand how to do that. Because if we're really going to move into the digital age, we need to rethink a lot of our mechanisms, systems, processes, and refactor them into a digital experience for our public and our citizens. And that is heavily predicated on our workforce. Our workforce is the power that makes all of that happen. But if they continue to think along the lines of a sort of paper-based system and pre-digital era systems and mechanisms, it will slow our ability down. So it's hugely important to make sure that our workforce has the training, knows how to make the change to enable all of our digital experiences, because otherwise we won't be able to truly move into a digital era with our citizens and providing those government services.
I appreciate your perspective on that. And then how would you say your agency is prioritizing the user experience in digital services?
Right, so, and I'll take a data perspective on this since I am a Chief Data Officer, but there is a really important data aspect to user experiences. So if we are not also considering a data management strategy in line with our digital services implementations, we won't fully meet the mail. So what I mean by that is we might have beautiful new user interfaces to collect, say, a beneficiary address. But if we have not cleaned up all of our address databases across different systems and we're asking our beneficiaries to update their address 9 different times, we have not truly improved the experience, even if the user interface looks a lot nicer. So we need to make sure that we're really incorporating data management into that process. And I'm really fortunate at the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. We are undertaking a whole application modernization initiative right now. And we are modernizing our whole suite of legacy applications. And the CIO, our Director of Solutions Development and Engineering, are big believers in the importance of that integrated data management strategy for improved digital experiences. And so we have integrated data architects sitting with the developers, working closely together to make sure that as we are modernizing our applications to enable FERC work and our engagement with the public and citizens, we are incorporating those data management strategies into those digital experiences, and that will hugely improve overall user experience as our users are inputting information in, and ensuring consistency across all of those data elements and all of our systems, so that we're reducing the number of times we have to collect something, we're consistently capturing it, improves the data quality, and just overall that digital experience.
Really appreciate your putting that into perspective for us. Well, Kirsten Dalboe, thank you for joining us here at FedTalks and sharing your perspective.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.